asked earlier if you can earn money from going green. For example, take SMX, for example. They are already using the waterless urinals. With waterless urinals, you don't use water to flush the urine anymore. So SMX saves at least more than 3 million pesos a year just by using the waterless urinal. Let's put it in a fast foods joint where you have 2 urinals. You save at least 136,000 pesos a year on water just by using the waterless urinals. You don't really make money, but you save money by going green. For example, just using the lights or the exhaust fans. If you have smoking customers, for example, why put them in an air-conditioned room where you still have to use exhaust fans? Why not put them outside, provide them with electric fans? That way, you will not use mechanical exhaust systems that will use electricity. So you save on power also, and light even.
So would you agree, Mr. Belton, that there are both moral and profit motives that we can inject into becoming more environmentally responsible?
Yes, I think we've, everybody who's running a business is full of the day-to-day struggle of making money and surviving. So it's right to start with the practical things. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I'd perhaps add is we're members of the business community, so we can also do a lot to help join with our neighbours to make improvements. For example, by organising recycling of waste. It's difficult for one business to do that alone, but a community in one business area can get that organised and again be profitable, because a lot of the waste that would otherwise be thrown away is worth money if it's recycled.
For June, do you think consumers today demand that if they're gonna eat at Max's Chicken, they want to make sure that it's environment friendly? I mean, do people really care? I guess it's my question.
Well, yeah. Now these days, actually, the consumers are quite, very particular now when they are buying products. It starts, taking a look at what is in it within the product, what makes this product, all about. Is it health hazard? Well, it started, of course, with being health conscious, but more than that, is it, the chicken that we are eating is, contaminated with toxic chemicals? Or are we aware that the vegetables that we are eating on our table is maybe with formaldehyde or something like injected with insecticide or pesticides just to earn, profit? When we talk about business from the environment perspective, we always tell that it has to be sustainable or sustainably. And sometimes they confuse about being sustainable to the environment. The sustainability has 3 major component. Basic, it's 3 P's. Okay. People, profit, and planet. So we have to, take care of our planet while we are earning for the people.
Okay. Ma'am, can you share? Okay. How about, okay, so I do believe that all companies do want to do what is right, but maybe their challenge is they don't know really what to do or who to go to for help. Would you know? I mean, where, for example, since most of the franchising companies are in food, where can they go to get help or advice on what can they do really? Would you know of a place where they can go to for help?
Well, in our case, we are actually from the Philippine Center for Environmental Protection and Sustainable Development is doing a lot in terms of promoting green purchasing or green procurement and greening the supply chains. We conduct trainings on eco-labeling, green procurement, greening the supply chain. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources has a lot of program related on environment together with business industry. They call it Philippine Environmental Private Partnership, by which each and every association, industry association, can approach DNR and have their own and voluntary mitigation of environmental impact that they have.
Okay.
There's this Department of Science and Technology that's helping you to have a cleaner production, by which you can approach them on how you can minimize the generation of your waste, energy efficiency, and water reduction consumption, by which you can save a lot. And our program is actually, maybe
Go ahead. Yeah.
I can mention this, that in the soonest time possible, we'll be launching the eco-labeling of fast food chain or green restaurant in behalf of the Department of Science and Technology. There are actually 4 things that we are looking at here. Number 1 is food and health safety. Second is the generation of solid waste, which primarily the plastics, the styrofoam and all that stuff. Third is the concern about the water conservation, especially the effluents that are being emitted by the industry. And the fourth is the energy conservation in relation to climate change. And we will be launching a lot of activities by which we will invite you to participate. This is an open, and multi-sectoral activity by which each and everyone can give us their opinion about the subject matter.
Just as a follow-up to that, June, what if you get an eco label? What does that mean?
Well, the Green Choice Philippines, I guess we provide you this kind of materials at the Secretariat. You can get this. It has something to do with the third-party labeling, by which we conduct assessment of your product or service, and then under certain standards.
Okay.
And that standards, once you pass it, we award the license for you to have this Green Choice Philippines. And on our end, we will advocate that patronize your products or your service once you have this. This is based on, this is an international program based on ISO 14024 or Guiding Principles and Procedure on Environmental Labeling. It's a quasi-government program. It's an initiative of Department of Trade and Industry and Department of Environment and Natural Resources. But we are the administrator of a program as a third party.
Okay, but that raises a question maybe Howard could answer. A concern by, a fast food chain with 2 branches compared to a fast food with 50. I mean, can the one with the 2 branches, can they afford or can they pass that standard? There's this perception that passing these standards really takes a lot of money. So,
well, yeah, actually, this is how it goes. We award the seal on a per product and plant specific.
okay.
Probably in the case of fast food chain, although we haven't really going through with the details, it might be awarded on a per establishment basis, because the impact of, let's say, I must say, Chicken Inasal or Jollibee here may be different in the environmental impact of Jollibee in say, in the Visayas region. It's the same that we award the seal to the cement being manufactured in Antipolo versus the cement being manufactured in Cebu.
Okay.
So this is when it comes to the concern is actually, is it expensive?
Yeah.
Well, the concern about the price of all this, as compared with the marketing that you spend, actually, the amount is actually less than a half page, advertisement in one newspaper. Less than.
Don't say
take note.
that.
And that would take you for 3 years. You could handle this as, you could get the seal for 3 years, and we keep monitoring you. We're not just, awarding the seal and that's it. You pass it. We make sure that being an environmental leadership in that business category, you should be proud of that you have the seal.
Okay.
So in fact, I must say that we haven't really created a critical mass of this. We awarded the seal to only 17 products. And you will be surprised that we got something like 100 applications. Many were called, but few were chosen.
How about Howard? Does the Philippine Business for Environment have programs? I mean, do you offer some help for the franchisees, franchisors?
Yes, we have programs. if you want to note down the website, it's mypbe@yahoo.com. Please get in touch. But I was thinking, when I was preparing for this, maybe, and I said to Sammy Lim earlier, if PFA would be interested, I'm sure we'd be happy to try and put together a simple guide of things you can do, designed specifically for small businesses. Because I have to say, sometimes these things can seem very complicated. They're not actually so complicated. So maybe it would be worth putting a bit of effort into pulling together some best practice examples and simple list of things to do for small businesses. If PFA would like to have a go at that, we'd be happy to cooperate.
Are those for free? No, they cost.
I think if we can do it through the internet, once we put together the material, it could be available free to members, I guess, yeah.
Okay. How about for you, ma'am? For, I guess, what makes a green building?
Actually, for the operations, our office is it's an architecture firm, urban planner, etc. But we are ISO certified for environmental management, which is the 14001. It may cost you at first, but in the long run, because you get to monitor your consumption. Or, for example, for electricity, how much do you pay for this month? You put a target. Let's say for next year, you want to cut on your electricity cost by 10%. So you monitor that every year. Even your the paper consumption, the ink consumption, we monitor that so that every year we get a savings of at least 10%. So even if you do not get an ISO certification, and you can copy, as according to the earlier session, you can copy their model as to how they do it. You can actually cut down on your costs just as long as there's somebody who's monitoring the consumption. So even the way you source materials or your raw materials or where you get your products, you can cut down on cost as long as you follow, you monitor your consumption.
Okay. How about since franchisors have branches, no, the physical structure, what's the, I guess, most effective thing they can do? Should they use, I mean, is there a new building style that they can adopt for their branches?
If you're talking about the building style, most of them have their own styles. Like Chowking has their own design because it has to go with the concept. But right now, what we are trying to veer away from is using the mechanical, for example, air conditioning. In fact, even in big halls like this one, they already try to turn up the air conditioning by at least the most comfortable for example, level. For example, 24 degrees. Unlike before, when you go into big halls like this one, it will be so cold that you will really need a coat or something. But right now, if you notice, it's very comfortable. And at the same time, you're using less electricity. Also for power, if you can use a natural daylighting and natural ventilation, that's the what architects right now are using. In fact, we try to control the wind that goes inside the building so that even in the kitchen, you will not use so much of the mechanical exhaust system. So as much as possible, go natural.
Okay. Okay. So, for June, for you, what do you think the franchising sector can do, can contribute to building on the momentum for being more environmentally conscious?
Well, perhaps the franchisor actually can contribute more on educating the consumer. You can ask your mother company to take a look at the supply chain of your products. What makes my vegetable or my chicken or pork, so to speak, that's made of? Are they producing in a way that's compliant to the environment? So something to that effect. You ask your mother company to provide you an information about the quality of, aside from being a quality of your product,